Hello, wanderers of the internet. It's PaleoJohnathan, and today Frontier just revealed Update 7 fully. This is the one that will be coming alongside the Prehistoric Marine Species DLC, and personally, I find it very interesting because it's not one of the typical sandbox updates that they've been doing for a while. It really has a lot of things that people don't think they need that I think will be really important. The first thing, and the biggest thing, possibly that I think has ever been added in an update, this is a controversial opinion, I think, is Custom Challenge Mode. So, Custom Challenge Mode, not only are you able to mess with a whole lot of settings to really, customize your challenge mode, you're able to create custom objectives, and it will automatically create a code that you can share with other people that will allow them to use the same challenge mode that you did. Point being that I think that this creates a whole new method of play for this game. I think that it makes a much stronger community. I think that it makes the game a lot more gamey. I think that's been a long-standing issue, is that if you don't really care for the franchise, you're making sandbox parks, there's really only so much you can do, because even the challenge mode is basically just park building. So allowing people to create and share weird custom challenge modes, I think is very neat. And I'm certainly going to make a couple challenge modes to share with you guys. And I'd love to see what bigger content creators can do. Next down, we have the Lagoon Viewing Dome, which, we've already seen it. That was already revealed. But we have a nice little view on it here. And it looks it has glass on the bottom, which is cool. And if we look underneath it, it's got little plate corals. There's not much to talk about here. It's been confirmed at this point. No new lagoon decorations or stuff. I think it was kind of fair to expect another lagoon update with the lagoon species, but it's whatever. It can always come later, and I think the challenge mode was probably the main focus of development, even above the marine species DLC. The next thing is another thing that I think people don't know how useful it'll be because they've just never played with it. Is we're going to be able to favorite skins and favorite dinosaurs in our parks. And apparently, it'll tell us when they're performing certain behaviors. And it will highlight them on their map overview. And place a beacon. Basically just a whole bunch of stuff to help you find a favorite dinosaur. So this is great. Specifically for people who want to get photos for those challenges where you need to get photos, or for people that want to get just a good screenshot, or YouTubers, all of those cases, or if you just like a dinosaur a lot. I don't really know how that's going to factor into play outside of those things, but if it makes those collecting get a photo of them drinking water easier, then that's great. Oh yeah, and another thing to mention is that the lagoon viewing domes will be using the same entrances as the normal viewing domes, as I suggested. And additionally, they'll be able to snap to the edge of lagoons now. That's kind of cool, I guess. Placeable amphitheater. So the placeable amphitheater, I personally never really cared for it, because I think it doesn't look very great. But honestly, it's people like it, and it looks good. It's fine. I don't really need it. I think it kind of sucks that it still says San Diego no matter what park it's on. It could have changed, the gates in the first game. But it's whatever. I think it's fine. I think it's more options. Can't hurt. A lot of people really want it. So yeah, the other thing, the really big thing that people, I think, don't know that they've wanted and have never, asked for, but have always wanted is guest hostility. We can make it now to where dinosaurs don't at all attack the guests, and the guests don't run away afraid of them. And you can customize it with herbivore and carnivore, as you can see in this image, as you can see probably in the thumbnail, because this image goes so hard. Okay, so that instantly makes parks so much more interesting to design. It suddenly, the design space is huge, and looking at the way it is in this photo, I think it's mostly going to be free roaming. I think they will pass the paths. So that means it's going to be really hard, at least without mods, to create walkthrough exhibits or anything more complicated. But this, I think, I mean, even just free roaming dinosaurs alone kind of like triples the variety of like themes that you can have in your parks. And I mean, that might sound like an overstatement, but I mean, like, think of like all the dinosaurs in the wild theming. Think like you could have some in the wild and some in the thing. You could have a whole bunch of. It makes things so much nicer. It's just there's so much more. I'll be doing a lot of park builds with this because I think it has a lot of potential. And then a whole bunch of sandbox mode settings. It's good that they just keep adding these update by update. They are getting rid of the requirements for unlocking the sandbox maps, which is huge. Obviously, that's been needed for a while, especially with all the new ones from DLCs. Another big one for sandbox is now you can demolish buildings a little bit. You can do that in one of Kai's mods, but it's good to have it in the base game, and I think that's always been a really neat thing. I think it's a really fun, like, creative flourish. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm sorry for milking this update for literally everything it's worth, but I don't really care. These videos are so much easier to make than the normal ones. So much. You don't even understand. Yeah, see ya.